Hi everyone, it's Zorian T from Yahoo Esports, and today I'm joined over Skype, Team President of Dignitas, Michael Odell, aka Odee. How are you doing, Odee?
Yeah, I'm good. Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you. So, you guys very recently, just announced your new Overwatch roster. Congratulations, and I have
Yeah,
a few
thanks.
questions about that today. I guess kicking off straight into it, my first question is, why invest into an Overwatch team?
Well, we actually picked them up. I think it was August last year. I think the reason we went for Overwatch was it was in the middle of the talks with the Sixers, and Overwatch came out, and I've never actually felt a buzz around a game like I did with Overwatch. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was playing it. I went to BlizzCon the previous year, saw the presentations and what was coming, and I decided that I would like a team at that point. Um, when you're being bought by an NBA team, it's kind of difficult to do literally anything whilst the transaction's going ahead. But we kind of agreed that Overwatch was going somewhere, so we picked up that original team. Unfortunately, it didn't work out quite as well as we wanted, so we thought we'd just take our time, wait for some new players to come along, put them together, get them practicing, and then hit the ground running in 2017. And that's what we've just announced, our new players.
So you've formalized like the roster at the moment. I am curious though, it seems that Overwatch League got announced as well, which is Blizzard's big push into Overwatch Esports. How much of assembling this roster now is in response or in preparation for that?
Where we have that in mind, but obviously the big question is how that league's actually going to look and what's going to happen and when it's going to be. So right now we don't know that. No, I don't think anybody knows that. So we're just looking at tournaments coming up in the game. We're heading to Paris tomorrow to compete in a tournament on Saturday. We really like the game. We want our guys to go and compete. So it's in the back of our mind. So no, we didn't pick this team to play in that league. But hopefully when that league gets announced and everybody knows how it's going to work, we'll be involved.
So what are your general thoughts on Overwatch League? I mean, you've been in the esports industry for quite some time now and you have some experience. I'm curious to know what your initial reaction was to it when it was announced.
I think it's a massive plan. I was there when they announced it, this recent BlizzCon. I think everybody again still needs to know more details. I want to know more about how the actual inner workings of the league are gonna kick in and when it's going to happen. That's the main thing for me. So I really can't answer. I can't really give you a good answer on that one because nobody really knows what's going to happen yet. So I just hope that Blizzard think about everything properly, which they will. And when they announce it, I'm sure they'll have something good.
Right. But we do know like a few details, right? So they mentioned that it would be like they're exploring the idea of having teams bound to local cities, which kind of sounds like a franchising system in sports. And what do you think about that?
It's an interesting idea. I believe esports is global, so I'm not really that sure localization is the way to go. But I'll give anything a try. Esports is still young, so let's see what happens.
Well, that's interesting you say that because, Dignitas obviously has a relationship with the Philadelphia 76ers. Do you think that in any way would play into if Overwatch League were to be following a system where local teams tied to cities, would that play into how your Overwatch team is placed?
I think it's quite a convenient thing to have in the background. We kind of have the backing of a city-based team, so yeah, it's definitely it's a possibility. So we're waiting to hear what happens and waiting to see where it goes and how everything kicks in. Again, nobody knows really anything right now, so let's just see, and we'll just go with our team now and compete in all the tournaments we can until we get to that point.
How would you like to see Blizzard handle the competitive Overwatch esports scene? I mean, like on one end of the spectrum, we have the Riot Games approach, in which they are very hands-on and controlling of everything that happens with League of Legends esports. Or would you prefer like a more kind of Valve approach to CSGO, where they sort of leave all the third-party organizations and communities to decide everything?
For me, I like it when developers get involved and actually help govern their own games. At the end of the day, it's their IP, it's their baby, it's their creation. So I'm actually a fan of when they actually get involved and help to govern. And I like, obviously, the LCS is an amazing league. Been involved with that for quite a long time. High Res's League is pretty cool. It's interesting. Like, it's good though that we have other options in other games, so you can actually see what works and what doesn't work. But for me personally, I'm a fan of when the developers get involved.
What are your thoughts about the current state of competitive Overwatch? Earlier this year, we had a team, Reunited, disband, citing that the esport enough wasn't sustainable yet for full-time teams. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty sad. Like Reunited, Frederick, one of the owners, used to play Battlefield for us. So it was nice to see him actually giving it a go and trying to do what we did. But it's very hard to pick up sponsors in any esport. It doesn't matter what game it is, and it's just sad that they fell by the wayside. Hopefully they come back at another point. I think you can't come into I don't think you can just come into esports and expect instant sponsors to hit you as you go. It's really like it took us years to get our first sponsors, and we've been around a long time. Yeah, the economics are not certain in esports yet. There's still a lot of I still think there's some foundation building to go, and obviously that's why I've partnered with the Sixers, because they can take me to the next level. Hopefully, we'll be a leader in how esports progresses in the future. But yeah, you need tournaments. You need lots of tournaments, and you need prize money in those tournaments. And obviously, somebody's got to pay for that. So that goes across all games. And you need a viewership. The viewership's important because as we go on, the media and the media rights will be important, and that's where ultimately the money will come from.
Do you think Overwatch as a game has what it takes to become like a premier tier 1 esport, kind of standing with, CSGO, League of Legends, all those type of games?
Yeah, I think yes. That's why we picked it up last year. I think it's lots of people play it, lots of people want to watch it. Just being at BlizzCon, standing there with massive crowd watching the game. The casters bring it to life as always, and listening to Demon, who used to be in Dignitas as well, commentate that is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's definitely got a chance. I think Blizzard know it's going to be a big esport, and they're going to make sure that happens. We just need to see it happen now, and let's get on with it. We're ready to go.
Do you think there's a possibility that maybe esports could be getting a bit too crowded with all the different games that teams or team owners have to look at now?
No. It's like, I think the most that we've ever had, I think we had 15, 16 different games that we were looking after a few years ago. No, I don't think so. It's like there are many games, and obviously teams have to focus on which ones they're putting most of their money into. Otherwise, you just run out of money. But no, as long as you manage what you have and don't go out of your means, teams get by. And then there's lots of more money coming into esports now. It's nowhere near as tough as it used to be. It's getting a lot better because investors are coming in, people with money are coming in, millionaires and billionaires, which is really cool. It's like 15 years ago, if you said to me like, Odee, you're gonna be bought by an NBA team, your players are gonna be earning this kind of money, I would have just said, yeah, right, okay, I'm sure that's gonna happen. But it's happened, so let's see what else can happen.
Yes, you guys were bought by the Philadelphia 76ers, so I have to ask, what are the chances of your Overwatch squad being named the Soldier 76ers?
I wouldn't rule anything out. I don't think that would happen, but it sounds quite cool. No, I don't think that will happen. That'll make our team's ego too big.
Awesome. Well, do you have any closing comments that you'd like to make in regards to the team announcement or for the Dignitas fans out there?
No, I'm just really happy that this team finally get to go to a tournament and compete this weekend. They've been practicing very hard for a couple of months. So I just want to see them go play. We are helping them do what they want to do. And now, yeah, it's up to them now. Go win some stuff.
Thank you very much for your time today, Odee. Really appreciate it, and best of luck with the 2017 season. I'm Zorian T, and for more competitive Overwatch news, be sure to check out Yahoo Esports.